Scotland. Easily one of the most beautiful countries in the world. From lush green hills and dramatic coastlines to ancient castles and cozy little towns, there is no shortage of magic here. And the best way to see it? A road trip. If you're planning a road trip through Scotland, then this video is for you. We spent 3 weeks traveling around the country in a van last July, and there were so many things that we wish we would have known before our trip. So we're making this video to help you plan better, avoid common mistakes, and make the most of your Scotland road trip. Stick around for our most important tip at the end because it will save you so much time and stress. Tip number 1 is gas. One of the biggest mistakes you can make on your Scotland road trip is letting your gas tank run too low. In rural areas in Scotland, gas stations, otherwise known as petrol stations in the UK, can be few and far between. We always made it a rule to fill up anytime we got close to a quarter tank. Also, a quick note, you'll usually pump first, then go inside to pay. Be sure to pay with a credit card that has 0 foreign transaction fees. We'll leave a QR code here on the screen and in the description below of our favorite 0 foreign transaction fee cards. Bonus tip, most gas stations are gonna have some kind of a meal deal that ranges between like £4 and £5. You'll get a sandwich, a snack, and a drink for an incredible price. Tip number 2 is to learn the road signs. It is essential to know the traffic signs when you're traveling through any country. And the UK has several that we had never seen before. We studied the official guide, and it was a lifesaver.
Actually, it was the one that studied the guide. She just yelled at me about the signs that she didn't know about.
Well, I wasn't driving, so, you know, it was important. Anyways, we're gonna leave a QR code for the official, what do you call it? Driving guide? Anyways, we're gonna leave a link here so that you can study up on that so you know all the road signs when you're on your road trip in Scotland. Tip number 3 is to be a friendly driver. One of the things we loved most about driving in Scotland was just how polite and friendly everybody was on the road. People wave at you when you let them pass. You'll see drivers flash their lights to say, go ahead, or they'll even put on their blinker so they signal that you can pass. We started doing the same, and honestly, it made driving so much more fun. Also, many of the scenic routes in Scotland are single track roads. That means one lane for both directions of traffic. You'll see passing places often where you'll just pull off to the side to let the other person go. And don't stress, just take your time and enjoy the views. If you found any value in this video so far, please go ahead and hit that like button. Also, we've noticed that the majority of you watching these videos aren't subscribed. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. It's free. Tip number 4 is to download Google Maps for offline use. There were multiple times during our trip in Scotland where we lost cell signal and we really had to rely on Google Maps to get us to where we were going. So make sure that you download the offline map. We recommend downloading your full route in Google Maps before you leave the big city. That way, even if you lose signal, you won't lose your way. And now, a bonus tip brought to you by today's video sponsor, NordVPN. We've been traveling the world for the last 3 years, and if there's one thing we've learned, it's that you have to connect to a lot of public Wi-Fi. Whether that be in airport lounges, cafes, or even the hotel lobby, we're going online to plan our routes, to check our bank accounts, all without really thinking about security. But those networks aren't always safe and secure, and that makes it really easy for digital thieves to swoop in and steal your data. Which is exactly why we use a VPN. And we recently made the switch to NordVPN, and honestly, you guys, we couldn't be happier with the switch. A VPN, or virtual private network, protects your internet connection. It creates a secure private tunnel between your device and the internet so no one can see what you're doing online. When you connect to public Wi-Fi, your personal information is wide open. Your passwords, your credit card numbers, even your identity can be stolen in seconds. And that's why we use NordVPN. With one click, your connection is completely secure. No hackers, no phishing, no digital thieves stealing our data like this guy. NordVPN is also the fastest VPN out there, which means no speed drops while you're browsing, streaming, or working. It's super easy to use with just one click.
And I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. This is probably one of our favorite travel hacks. You can use a VPN to access content that may not be in the country that you're currently in. So for example, let's say you're not traveling like us. Let's say you're in the US and you wanna watch Friends on Netflix, but you can't because it's not available. You can do a quick Google search to find out what country that show is available in, connect to that country on your VPN, and boom, you're watching your favorite sitcom again from the comfort of your own home. And the best part is we have partnered with NordVPN, who is today's video sponsor, to bring you guys a very special discount of 4 months free with your NordVPN plan. So make sure to either click the link in the description box below, or you can scan the QR code on the screen here. And there's no risk at all. NordVPN comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So stay protected, stay connected with NordVPN.
Click the link in the description below.
Tip number 5, plan your route thoughtfully. This was one of the hardest parts of planning because there's just so much to see in Scotland. We feel like most people do the NC 500, but we visited during peak season and kind of decided to avoid that traffic. Instead, we created our own route, starting in Edinburgh, heading west, first to places like Glencoe and Skye, and then looping back through to Speyside and down through the Cairngorms. Depending on how much time you have, we recommend to make a list of maybe 5 to 10 places that are bucket list things you cannot miss, and then planning your route around those places. We also recommend to try and knock out the longer drives and the major bucket list spots earlier in the trip. That way you'll have more flexibility later in the trip. Bonus tip, if you're visiting Scotland during the summer, you will have so much more daylight to work with because it doesn't get dark until around 10 p.m. or even later. It really helped us make the most of each day, but just know that's also when the midges come out, so pack some bug spray and be ready if you're out late. Tip number 6, Scotland sacrifices. This one's tough because Scotland is just so stunning that you're gonna wanna stop along your trip like every 10 minutes. Like honestly, there's something to see every time you turn your head. But in order to see everything you want during your trip, you're going to have to pass up some beautiful spots. We actually lost 3 days on our way to the Isle of Skye because we kept pulling over for castles, coups, and hikes. Our tip, prioritize your must-sees. You can't do it all, but you can make sure you don't miss the things that matter the most to you. Tip number 7 is to prepare for parking fees. Most parking spots in Scotland charge a small fee, usually £2, maybe £3. Some parking lots will take card and some will require an app. This especially applies to popular attractions like Old Man of Store, castles, and some locks. Almost all of them have a fee to park nearby. And if you're in a camper van, be extra careful about where you park, especially at popular attractions. Some parking lots will charge more if your car is converted for sleeping, which ours was, and there are often separate designated spots for camper vans. This is actually how we got slapped with a £100 fine. At the Old Man of Store, we didn't read the sign correctly and parked in the wrong spot. The good news is you usually get a discount if you pay within 14 days. Also, special shout out to our Buy Me a Coffee supporter for taking care of that fine for us. We appreciate you so much. That was so kind of you. Tip number 8, save with the Historic Scotland Explorer Pass and the National Trust membership. If you're planning to visit more than a couple castles or historic sites, we highly recommend getting the Historic Scotland Explorer Pass. It gives you free entry to tons of popular places like Edinburgh Castle, Urquhart Castle, and Elgin Cathedral. And it can save you a lot of money over the course of your trip. We also just learned about the Scotland National Trust membership, which covers an entry to a wider range of historic homes, gardens, and landmarks throughout the country. The membership starts at only £11 for 2 adults, which is crazy. I wish that we had purchased this when we went on our trip in Scotland. We'll pop both links in the description down below so you can decide if they're a good fit for your itinerary. Tip number 9 is to stock up on essentials. Before heading into the more remote parts of Scotland, we recommend to stock up on snacks, water, and a few other basics like maybe a first aid kit, some layers, and most definitely a rain jacket because the weather in Scotland is completely unpredictable, and I promise you that rain jacket's gonna come in real handy.
Today's weather calls for cloudy with a chance of fog and mist, raining sideways, and lots of smiles.
Also, if your rental doesn't have GPS, we recommend getting one of those hands-free phone mounts that you put on the window or on the dash of the car. It's going to come in very handy because you're going to want both hands on the wheel for those twisty, windy roads. Also, they drive on the left side of the road in the UK, which if you're from America, we're used to driving on the right side of the road. And I think Lemon's gonna tell us a little bit more about driving on the left-hand side of the road for the very first time.
Hello. Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but you get used to it pretty quickly, so just be patient and try to drive first in little less traffic-y areas. Don't do it in the big cities.
Good tip, mate. Thanks. And our final tip, the most important tip, is to double your Google Maps time estimate. This was honestly the thing that cost us the most stress and frustration during our 3 weeks in Scotland. We'd plug in a destination and Google Maps would say, oh, it's only gonna take 30 minutes to get there. And it would end up taking us sometimes even more than twice the amount of time. The app assumes that you're going to drive the full speed limit, which is oftentimes 60 miles per hour, but with all of those narrow, like one-track roads, you're rarely ever going 60 miles per hour. Especially if you're in a camper van, you're going to expect to go much slower and you're going to want to build in plenty of buffer time. Between narrow roads and slow drivers, missed turns, and photo stops, you're rarely going to get from point A to point B in the time that it predicts. And if you're in a van or a motorhome, add even more of a buffer. Trust us on this one. After traveling to more than 30 countries, we consider Scotland one of the most beautiful places we have ever been to. We are so excited for you guys to go on your own road trip in Scotland, and we created this video to help you have a more memorable trip. If you're heading to Scotland soon, don't miss the rest of our content because we filmed, 15 plus videos in Scotland, and we had the most magical time, and we know you're going to love those videos. These are all the tips that we wish we would have known before our trip, and we hope that they help you plan a smoother, more memorable trip through Scotland. If you've got questions, pop them in the comments down below. We would be happy to answer any questions or even help you plan your road trip through Scotland. Also, if you go to our website, we'll put a QR code up on the screen here. We have tons of blog posts about Scotland and specifically about road tripping through Scotland and van life in Scotland, so make sure to check those out. And if you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button for more travel guides and tips from all over the world. Until next time.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Nessie.
Scotland, you beaut. I just cannot. Ugh. That was stupid. I don't like that at all. Blah. Cut to the burglar scene. Burglar Lemon.
Ma.
The meatloaf.